In this session, we are going to discuss about product life cycle. As other living organisms, products also pass through different stages of life. Four concepts are associated with product life cycle. The first one is that products have a limited life. And the second one is product sales pass through distinct stages, each posing different challenges, opportunities, and problems to the seller. So this point means, as said in the beginning, every product sales pass through different distinct stages, and during each stage the product sales poses different challenges, opportunities, and problems. And the third one is profits rise and fall at different stages of the product life cycle. So during each stage of the life cycle, the profits also change according to different stages of the product life cycle. And finally, products require different marketing, financial, manufacturing, purchasing, and human resource strategies in each life cycle stage. This means products need different functional strategies related to different functional areas of management such as marketing, financial, manufacturing, purchasing, and human resource strategies in each life cycle stage. So these are the four concepts associated with product life cycle. Now let us see the stages of product life cycle. So 5 prominent stages are there in the product life cycle. Though the first stage called product development is not very visible, the other 4 stages such as introduction, growth, maturity, and decline are clearly visible to both internal and external stakeholders. The first product development stage may be known to the internal stakeholders. Let us see each stage of product life cycle in detail. The first stage, introduction. And introduction is a period of slow sales growth as the product is introduced in the market. As we saw in the previous slide, after the product development stage is over, the product is ready for its commercial introduction. And during the introductory stage, the sales of the product may be growing very slowly because the consumers or the targeted customers may not be aware of such a product. So the customers should be made aware of the product before they come forward to purchase it. So this introduction stage is a period of slow sales because the product is just introduced in the market. And during the stages of introduction, profits are non-existent due to the heavy expense of product development and introduction. We know the profit is a excess of revenue over expenditure. And during the stage of introduction, there won't be any excess of revenue over the expenditure, because heavy expenses might have introduced for the product development or during the stage of product development and introduction. And the introduction stage begins when the development is complete. And sales growth tend to be slow in the introduction stage, as we saw previously. And in this stage, the profits are negative or low, because the income is not sufficient to cover the expenditure incurred for the development of the product. So surely the profits may be negative, or even if there is some profit, it may be very low. And promotional expenditures are at their highest ratio to sales. Promotional expenditures are the expenditures to be incurred for making the product known to the customers. So advertisement cost, other promotional expenditures are very much high during the introductory stage, when that is compared to sales. The prices tend to be higher because costs are high. Huge money might have been incurred for the development. So the company may be forced to fix a price that is slightly higher. So the prices tend to be higher during introductory stage because of the high cost of the product development and introduction. And this introduction stage ends when customers widely accept the product. That means, as a result of the promotional activities, the customers become aware of the product and they come forward to accept the product. And when customers widely accept the product, the introduction stage comes to an end. And let's see the marketing strategy and its goals during the introduction stage. The first goal is to inform potential consumers, because the potential consumers buy the product. They should be informed of the product, then only they will come forward to purchase the product. So they should be potential consumers must be informed of the product. Attract customers by raising awareness and interest. Due to various promotional activities, the marketer has to attract customers, and their awareness and interest also must be raised. Induce customers to try and buy. Various promotional efforts must motivate the potential customers to try the product, and after satisfactory trials, they should come forward to buy the product. Focus on buyers who are the most ready to buy. So during the introduction stage, the marketing efforts must focus on buyers who are the most ready to buy the product, because people should come forward to buy the product, then only the marketer can sell the product. So the ultimate focus should be on buyers who may come forward to buy the product. And during the introduction stage, there should be sufficient efforts to engage customer education activities. The customers should be educated. They should be made aware of the benefits or advantages of your product. And through the education activities only, the customers will buy your product. Strengthen or expand channel and supplier relationships. During the introduction stage, the channel partners may be very low in number, because even the channel partners may be hesitant to accept and sell your product. So there should be sufficient focus in strengthening or expanding channel and supply relationships of the product. Build on availability and visibility. This means the product should be made available in places where consumers or the targeted consumers may come for purchasing products, and the brand or the product should be visible to them. The visibility will naturally lead them to raise questions about the product. They may try the product, and as a result they may buy the product. So there should be sufficient efforts to build availability and visibility of the product. And the pricing objectives also should be fixed during the stage of introduction. What is the objective of your pricing? Is it to grab maximum profit during the introduction stage itself? Or is it aimed at selling maximum number of units? So whatever be the objective, that should be fixed, that should be set during the introduction stage itself. And after the introduction stage, the next stage of product life cycle is growth stage. And it is a product period of rapid market acceptance and substantial profit improvement. Two things happen during the growth stage. One is, as a result of the efforts during the introduction stage, there may be a rapid market acceptance for your product. Customers may be asking for the product. They may be demanding your product. And as a result of the increased demand, there may be a substantial improvement in the level of profit also. Now let us see the features of growth stage. The growth stage is characterized by a rapid climb in sales. That means as a result of increased awareness, promotional campaigns, the sale of the brand or the product increase rapidly. Early adopters like the product and additional consumers start buying the product. Early adopters means those who have bought the product during the introduction stage. They may start liking the product because of the benefits they get out of the product. And as a result of the word of mouth consumer communication by the early adopters, more number of additional consumers also come forward to buy the product. The new competitors enter the market attracted by the opportunities, and this is a threat to the marketers, because there are competitors who understand the opportunities available in the market, and as a result of those opportunities, they may also come forward with alternative brands. They may enter the market. So the new competitors enter the market. Competitors introduce new product features and expand distribution. in order to tap the market, in order to attract customers. The competitors who come to the market may introduce new product features, and they may also try to expand their distribution system to reach maximum number of consumers. Prices stabilize or fall slightly depending on how fast demand increases. During the introduction stage, the companies might have been charging a high price, and that high price may be charged as a result for two reasons. One is in order to cover the development cost as early as possible, and the second reason is the lack of competition. Since there is no competition, the marketer or the marketer who introduced the product can charge a price which is higher, and during the growth stage those high prices may come down slightly or fall slightly or get stabilized because of increased competition. Naturally, when competition increases, we know the prices go down. The competitors may be reducing prices to attract more number of customers. And depending on the increase in demand, either prices stabilize or fall slightly. Promotional expenditures are maintained or raised slightly to meet competition and continue to educate the market. During the growth stage also, consumers must be educated in order to sell the product smoothly to them. Therefore, promotional expenditures are to be maintained, or sometimes it may have to be raised slightly to meet competition, because there are competitors, and in order to compete them in the market, it is very essential that you also give more promotional activities, or you also engage in more promotional activities. And when more promotional activities are done, naturally the promotional expenditures may have to be raised. Sales rise much faster than promotional expenditure. Though the promotional expenditures increase, sales also increase much faster than those promotional expenditures, because as a result of the promotional expenditures or promotional activities, more number of people become aware of the product, they may demand your product, and as a result your sales may rise much faster than promotional expenditure. Profits increase as promotion costs are spread over a large volume. This is, though the promotional expenditures go high, as the number of units increase, those promotional expenditures per unit may go down. For example, assume that you are spending 1 lakh rupees per month for advertisement, and you are producing 1 lakh units per month. So your promotional expenditures are 1 lakh and you are producing 1 lakh units per month. So your promotional cost per unit is just 1 rupee per month. Assume that you are able to increase your sales to 2 lakh units per month, and you continue promotion as during the previous period. So you are having a promotional cost of 1 lakh and you are producing 2 lakh units. In such a situation, now you have a per unit promotional cost of 50 paise only. And when promotional costs decrease, naturally the profit increases. So during the growth stage, profits increase as promotion costs are spread over a large volume. Per unit manufacturing costs fall faster than decline in price. As a result of decrease in manufacturing cost, you are able to produce products at a lower cost because you may have experience in the manufacturing of the product, and your promotion cost per unit also might have come down. In the same way, the fixed cost per unit also might come down. So as a result of all these decline in costs, you may be in a position to sell products at a lower price. So the per unit manufacturing costs fall faster than decline in prices during the growth stage. Rapid increase in profitability early in the growth stage that decreases at the end of the stage. So as a result of increased demand for the product during the early growth stage, the profitability increases rapidly during the early stages of growth, but it may decrease at the end of growth stage because of increased competition. When competition increases, the price may go down. As a result of decreased price of the product, the profitability also may get reduced at the later stage of growth stage. Length depends on nature of product and competitive reactions. The length of growth stage may depend on the nature of product. Certain products may have a very lengthy growth stage, but some other products may have a very short growth stage. So the length of growth stage depends on nature of product and surely competitive reactions. When more number of competitors enter the market and sell vigorously, naturally the length of period may be comparatively less than a few players operating in the market. So the length depends on nature of product and competitive reactions. Marketing strategy goals in growth stage. Improve product quality and add new features and improved styling. When the competition increases, consumers may be looking for products with higher quality and additional features and improved styling. So naturally, to have sales for your product, you have to improve product quality and add new features and styling. Add new models and product variants to protect the main product. Since there is intensified competition, the marketers maybe come forward with a lot of variants of the product or new models of the products. And in order to survive in the market, in order to survive the main product, you also may have to introduce new product models and product variants, enter new market segments. And during the growth stage, there may be segments which are not catered enough. So you have to identify such market segments and you have to enter those market segments that will result in increased sale of your product. Maximize availability of the product by increasing distribution coverage and establishing new distribution channels. Growth stage is the stage in which you can reap the maximum benefits of the product. Therefore, you have to maximize availability of your product, and that can be done by increasing distribution coverage and establishing new distribution channels. You may identify new distribution channels that can be used to sell your product. And similarly, you have to increase the coverage of your existing distribution system also during the growth stage. Shift from awareness and trial communications to preference and loyalty communications. It talks about the promotion communications. During the introduction stage, the promotions were addressing or aiming awareness of the product or inducing consumers or customers to try the product. But during the growth stage, the focus of your communication must shift from awareness and trial communications to preference and loyalty communication. That means consumers must prefer your product than your competitors' brands. Similarly, the consumers who have tried your product or bought your product must again seek your product. They should be loyal to your brand. So, preference and loyalty communications must be the focus during growth stage. Lower prices to attract the next layer of price sensitive buyers. Surely there may be a set of consumers who may be price sensitive, who may be worried about the money they have to spend to buy the product. So such price sensitive consumers must be addressed by introducing lower priced variants. Establish a clear product and brand identity. During the growth stage, a brand identity is very important. And your product must have a very clear brand identity in order to succeed in the market. Create unique positioning. You should be very clear about the position of your product, and that positioning must be a unique one which may prevent competition from other marketers. Find the ideal balance between price and demand. Your pricing must be fixed very carefully, considering the demand of the product. And the ideal balance will give you more benefits. Therefore, you have to try hard to find an ideal balance between price and demand. Keep an eye focused on the competition. Always you should be thoroughly following the actions of your competitors. You have to understand their actions and reactions. And you also may have to act accordingly. So always there should be an eye on your competitors. The third stage is maturity stage. And during this stage, a slowdown in the sales growth happens because the product has achieved acceptance by most potential buyers. Profits stabilize or decline because of increased competition. So maturity is a stage of slowdown in sales, and that happens as a result of the maximum acceptance by most potential buyers. Most of the buyers have already bought the product, so there is no further demand from potential buyers, and as a result profits stabilize or decline. And surely, as a continuation of the growth stage, during the maturity stage also there may be increased competition. That will also lead to the stabilization or decline of profits. And coming to the characteristics, typically the longest stage in the product life cycle is the maturity stage. And this maturity stage is divided into three phases: growth, stable, and decaying maturity. Let's see each maturity stage in detail. And during the growth phase, sales growth start to slow. No new distribution channels to fill. New competitive forces emerge. So three things happen in growth phase. The sales growth, which was taking place during the introduction and growth stage, start to slow down, and there are no new distribution channels to fill, because during the growth stage we have identified or filled almost all distribution channels. And as continuation of growth stage, new competitive forces will be emerging here also. And the growth stage is followed by stable phase. And in stable phase, sales per capita flatten due to market saturation. Per person sales flatten, which was going up, now flatten due to market saturation. There is no new demand, so the sales per capita flatten due to market saturation. Most potential consumers have tried the product, and future sales depend on population growth and replacement demand. So this means most of the potential consumers have already bought the product, either from you or your competitors. And the possibility for future sale is only from two sources. One is as a result of population growth. People may demand the product, and in order to replace the product already bought, they may demand the product. And the third stage is decaying maturity phase. And during the decaying maturity phase, sales start to decline. Customers begin to switch to other products. Sales slowdown creates overcapacity in the industry, which intensifies competition, and weaker competitors withdraw. A few giants dominate and profit mainly through high volume and lower costs. So this decay maturity phase is an important phase. Naturally, sales start decline, and consumers or customers begin to switch to other product. They may come across a new product. So normally they may switch to that. And as a result of the decline in sales, there may be an overcapacity in the industry. In other words, there may be increased supply in the market. And as a result of the increased supply, or to sell your brands, companies may be intensifying competition. They may go for price cuts. They may come with increased promotion, etc. So they may intensify competition. And as a result of this intense competition, weaker competitor may be thrown out of the market. They may withdraw from the market. And a few giant marketers may dominate in the market and profit mainly through high volume and lower cost. They may try to sell high number of units, large number of units, and as a result they may try to reduce the cost. So the profit during the maturity stage, especially decay maturity phase, is mainly through high volume and lower cost. Mature products can be modified by offering new value to the customers. So that is the option available to the marketer during the maturity stage. Matured products can be modified by offering new value to the customers. For example, in the case of color television, we have seen that the particular product was in maturity. But when new variants or modifications or improvements are brought to the product and new value is offered to the customers, the life of the products can be modified. And the ways to change the course of a brand are given below. The first one is market modification. How you can modify the value to the customers. The first option is market modification. And in market modification, the marketers try to expand the number of users. And how the number of users can be expanded? It is by converting non-users to users. Those who do not use your product presently may be made users of your product. Convert non-users to users. And the second method to expand the number of units is enter new market segments. And the third option is attract competitors' customers, and by which you can attract or expand the number of users. And the second method of market modification is increase the usage rates among users. The first one was to expand the number of users, and the second option for market modification is increase the usage rates among users. And in order to increase the usage rate, how consumers use the product on more occasions. For example, hand wash. Induce consumers to use the product on more occasions. Whenever they come from outside, induce them to wash their hands using hand wash. So the usage rate goes up. How consumers use more of the product on each occasion. So try to increase the volume or more volume of the product on each occasion. how consumers use the product in new ways. Educate your consumers to use the product in new ways, and that is a method to increase the usage rates among users. And the third option is product modification. And the second, after market modification, the second option is product modification. And in product modification, stimulate sales by improving quality, features, or style. So by improving quality, features, or style of the product, you can stimulate the sales of your product. And that is a product modification. And quality improvement increases functional performance by launching a new and improved product. Quality improvement increases functional performance of the product by launching a new and improved product. So by introducing a new product, you may improve the quality of the product. And feature improvement adds size, weight, materials, supplements, and accessories that expand the product's performance, versatility, safety, or convenience. And the second method of product modification is feature improvement. And through feature improvement, you are adding the size, weight, materials, supplements, and accessories, and that expand the product's performance, versatility, safety, or convenience. So you are improving the features of the product. And style improvement increases the product's aesthetic appeal. So the new style is given to the product. So that is style improvement. So in product modification, it may be quality improvement, feature improvement, or style improvement. And the third one is marketing program modification. Marketing program modification. Try to stimulate sales by modifying non-product elements, price, distribution, and communication, etc. So you may try to modify the product by highlighting or modifying non-product elements such as price, distribution, and communication. And the last stage of product life cycle is decline stage. And sales show a downward trend and profits erode during decline stage. And the sales decline due to technological advances, shifts in consumer tastes, and increased domestic and foreign competition. So due to various reasons such as technological changes, changes in consumer tastes, and increased competition, sales decline during decline stage. And all these can lead to overcapacity, increased price cuts, and profit erosion. So that means when demand decreases, naturally supply may increase. So when sales are less and the production is continued as previously, there may be overcapacity or oversupply in the market. And when the market is flooded with products, in order to sell the product, increased price cuts are offered by marketers. And when price cuts are introduced, profits will be eroded. Profits may go down. And the decline might be slow or rapid. For example, in the case of sewing machine, newspaper, etc., though they are in decline stage, the decline is a slow process. But in some other cases, for example, in the case of floppy disks or cassettes, the decline was very rapid. As a result, cassettes or floppy disks are no more available in the market. So the decline might be slow or very fast. And during the decline stage, withdraw from the market if sales and profits decline over a period of time. You may try to withdraw from the market if sales and profits decline over a period of time. And if you are not ready to withdraw, or if you do not withdraw, reduce the number of products being offered. Try to reduce the number of products that you offer in the market. And you may withdraw from smaller segments and weaker trade channels. There is no point in catering to smaller segments. So you withdraw from such smaller segments and weaker trade channels also. Cut marketing budgets and reduce prices further. You try to reduce your expenses. So you cut marketing budgets, marketing expenditures, and reduce prices. In order to attract at least some sales, you may try to reduce prices further. Companies should have a system for identifying declining products, and many of the companies do not have this. So it is very essential to have a system in the company for identifying declining product and to address remedial measures for such declining products. And there are two options available during the decline stage. One is attempt to postpone the decline, and the second one is if it is difficult to postpone the decline, accept its inevitability. And there are two methods available during or approaches during decline stage. One is harvesting and the other one is divesting. In harvesting, gradually reduce costs and maintain sales. And sale costs can be reduced gradually by cutting your research and development expenses, investment in plant and equipment, etc. So somehow you try to reduce your costs gradually, and you harvest maximum possible sales, or at least maintain your sales. That is called harvesting. And divesting means you may sell the particular product or brand to another firm who is ready to buy such a brand or product. So that is called a divesting. And the factors to be considered during this stage are the following. You have to consider the market segment potential. Whether you have to go for harvesting or divesting depends on the market segment potential. The market position of the product. So whether there is demand for the product even during the decline stage. What is the market position? The firm's price and cost structure. Can you sufficiently manage the cost structure and fix a price accordingly? the firm's price and cost structure, the rate of market deterioration, whether the market is declining rapidly or is it a slow decline. So you have to understand the rate of market deterioration. And finally, the marketing strategy during the product life cycle. And during each stage of product life cycle, such as introduction, growth, maturity, and decline, there are certain strategies related to product, price, distribution, promotion, and overall marketing goals. So during introduction, the overall marketing goals is to have a product awareness and trial. And during growth stage, the overall marketing goals is to increase market share by acquiring new customers, find new needs and market segments. So you may try to increase market share. And during maturity, the overall marketing goal is to maximize profit by defending market share or stealing it from competitors. You may try to maximize profit during maturity. And during decline, reduce expenses and marketing efforts to maximize the last opportunity for profit. So we can say the overall marketing goals during introduction is product awareness and trial, and during growth, increased market share, and during maturity, maximization of profit, and during decline, reduction in expenses and maximize the last opportunity for profit. And the product strategy at each stage. During introduction, the product strategy is limited models with limited features and frequent product changes. And during growth, the product strategy is to introduce new models with new features, continue product changes. And in maturity, the product strategy is full model line, increase supplemental product offerings to aid in product differentiation. And during decline, the product strategy is to eliminate unprofitable models and brands. And the pricing strategy during introduction is penetration pricing to establish a market presence, or price skimming to recoup development cost. And during growth, the pricing strategy is to fix a price that may withstand competition, price to match or beat the competition. And during maturity, the pricing strategy is again a price to beat the competition. And during decline, you may fix a price that may stabilize at a low level. Distribution strategy during introduction. Gradually roll out product to expand availability. Get wholesalers and retailers on board. And during growth, intensify efforts to expand product reach and availability. And during maturity, the distribution strategy is to have extensive product availability, retain shelf space, phase out unprofitable outlets or channels. Finally, during decline stage, the distribution strategy is to maintain a level necessary to keep brand loyal customers, continue phasing out unprofitable channels. And promotion strategy during introduction stage, advertising and personal selling to build awareness, heavy sales promotion to stimulate product trial. And during growth, the promotion strategy is to aggressive brand advertising, selling and sales promotion to encourage brand switching and continued trial. And during maturity, stress brand differences and benefits, encourage brand switching, keep the brand product fresh. And finally, during decline stage, the promotion strategy is to reduce to a minimal level or phase out entirely. So this means during different stages of product life cycle, marketers need to have different strategies in the areas of product, price, distribution, promotion, and overall marketing goals. Again, as a recap, understand that there are prominently 4 stages of product life cycle as introduction, growth, maturity, decline, and all the 4 stages are preceded by development stage. Thank you.